Hello. You have reached the Franklin County Forensic Science Center, Office of the Coroner. Please listen to the following message as our prompts have changed. Please be advised that this call may be recorded. Para continuar en español, por favor, oprima el número 8. For business hours, location address, and website information, please press 1. If you are calling to report a death, please press 2. If you're inquiring about the release of a decedent or releasing hours, please press 3. For information on a death certificate, coroner's report, or to speak with a staff member, please press 4. Requests for a coroner's report or autopsy report can be made on our website at coroner.franklincountyohio.gov and click on Services. Please be advised that it may take up to 6 months from the date of death before the reports are completed and available. If you are in need of a final death certificate, please call the Ohio Department of Health at 614-645-7331. To speak with a staff member about a case or to ask a question, please remain on the line until the next available staff member can assist you. This is Cheyenne. How may I help you?
Yes, I'm calling regarding my son's death certificate. He died March 14th, 2020, and on the death certificate, it says that he used drugs. My son didn't use drugs. He was killed with fentanyl poisoning. And currently, we're still working on a murder case. There are several people involved in that, and I'm sure that you can't change it to murder until they're convicted. But he didn't use drugs, and it's important that his death certificate reflects what happened to him and not that he used drugs and didn't.
Okay, and you said it was a 2020 case?
Yes, March 14th.
What's his name?
Alex, A-L-E-X, Lawson, L-A-W-S-O-N, hyphen,
okay.
It's a hyphen, Cobb,
Okay.
C-O-B-B.
My system is pulling up now, so just a moment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so you've already been in touch with us, it looks like.
Yes, on another issue.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't look, the last time we talked to you is the last communication we have in the case.
Yes.
It looks like you had spoken with Jessie, and she did let you know that we need to hear from the police that they're opening a homicide investigation before we can change anything on our side.
Yes, his case is still in homicide. That's where his case is. And I don't know if we need to do this on a legal level. See, he didn't use drugs. And of course, you don't have proof that he used drugs because he didn't use drugs. And so his death certificate should not reflect that. One of the main people involved in his murder is going around Facebook and showing that and saying that he used drugs. He had been asking for help regarding this person before they killed him. And the least that I believe the coroner can do is not put that on his death certificate, especially without any evidence that he used drugs, but he died of fentanyl poisoning.
Okay. We ran a toxicology analysis, and that's how we found out he did have drugs in his system. I can send a message to the pathologist.
He had enough fentanyl in his body to kill an army after 8 hours of dialysis at OSU.
I can send a message to the pathologist, but I don't know that we will change anything until we hear from the police that they're investigating it as a homicide. It doesn't look like any police have called us yet about anything.
Here's the problem. Where did you get he used drugs? My son actually dropped 11 hours before he was murdered. He was hit with a gun and was forced, fentanyl was forced on him. Children were there to see it. And to this day, I'm having a difficult time just getting the police to do that. Currently, I'm working on a private affidavit of criminal complaint, and I'm putting together all the evidence that I do have, and I'm giving it back to a prosecutor and the chief of police because I opened all that to the homicide unit.
Okay. And you're wanting the words "use drugs" changed, or you're wanting the manner of death changed? Just to clarify.
Okay, that would be the same because used drugs is not what killed him. Fentanyl poisoning killed him.
Okay, I can get a message to the pathologist, but I don't know how much we can do for you at this point since police haven't reached out to us about anything.
They're not really working the way that they should on the case. They don't like to answer the phone anytime a person has been killed by fentanyl or any other poisoning that suggests any type of drug. This was the second attack on my son. The first one was poured in his drink, and he survived it. They did CPR on him, and he lived. That was January 4th. And when the girl promised to do it again, they attacked him and did it again. The children of that person saw the murder, and the police hadn't listened. So I'm dealing with that on a whole different level, and I may end up having to sue the city on this one. But he didn't use drugs, and using drugs didn't kill him. This killer is on Facebook sharing that, and she's saying some disturbing things about my son. She's a very hateful person, and I need that change because that's not an accurate cause of death.
Right, and I understand all of that, but unfortunately, without the police being in contact with us, telling us that they also believe it's a homicide, we can't just change the cause and manner because we did find drugs in his system with our toxicology analysis, and without the police calling us to also say that they agree with you,
I have one problem here.
We can't change it.
They can. I think that this might be an issue where I'm having to take that to court because used drugs is never a cause of death.
It doesn't say use drugs as a cause of death. That would probably be how the injury occurred.
Okay, this is.
I can send a message still, but
that's what I have on the certificate that I have. That's what I have on the death certificate that I have, and that's what she has, and she's posting that. And this is right, that part right there. It's complicated. The investigation of the murder of my son. And there was a person that was falsely accused. They stood trial. It was a homicide. They did a case on her for involuntary manslaughter. That's the homicide unit. If you need that case, I can give you that. She wasn't.
Well, like I said, until we hear from the police, we can't change anything. I can give this information to the pathologist that worked on your son's case and also my supervisor.
Would you please give it to the supervisor? Because when I did speak with Dr. Daniels regarding this,
yes.
The kids also saw my son hit with a brick, but didn't suggest that he died that way because I stayed with him in ICU the whole night as they did the dialysis, trying to get the fentanyl out of his body. That's not the cause of death. That would be a bruise, but he took it as an indication of a cause of death, and he was arguing with me on this. This is not, we just wanted to confirm about the brick. He cut my son's head open to look at it, but he was very combative about that, and I really would like this to go to your supervisor.
I can let you speak with him if you would like.
I would.
He's in the office now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, give me just a moment to go over everything with him, and then we'll be on the line, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And it's Faith?
Yes, Faith Cobb.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Give me just a moment, please.
Thank you.
Hi, this is David. Is this Faith?
Yes, it is. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
All doing okay. You see the questions about this, or
Yes, I have a
Ty
question.
kind of told me a little bit about it.
Okay.
And I know if we haven't really heard anything from police, we really can't change anything unless there's, some proof by them or they are investigating it as a homicide.
Yes, and that it's been in the homicide unit ever since he died.
Yeah, they have not contacted us about this.
Okay, and it's very hard to get a hold of them. I'm working on, have evidence about what occurred. They didn't pay attention, so I'm working on a private affidavit of criminal complaint to send to the prosecutor's office and also to send to the chief of police so that my son can get the proper justice and investigation that he needs for his case. But Detective Hughes, he's the detective that was over the case. And when a person was wrongly accused of it, she wasn't convicted of involuntary manslaughter. That's what they set up for that to be, assuming that he used drugs, but he didn't use drugs. I have actual drops that he's been making on a regular basis, all the way up to when he was killed. 11 hours before he was killed, he dropped, and he dropped clean. So I'm going to be giving this to officials. I'm going to go over the head of that detective and speak with the chief, send her the complaint with the evidence, and also give it to the prosecutor to make sure that's done. But the woman that is homicide, the woman that was taken to court in 2023, they dismissed the involuntary manslaughter on her. I actually made a criminal complaint there, and I don't think the judge understood that she could actually issue orders, but she didn't. But she did clear that person, and it's still sitting there, and it's becoming a cold case. Still working on it. There's other issues involved, like his son. He tried to protect his son, and his son is back in the system by one of the people, the main person that actually assaulted him with a gun and then forced poisoning on him in front of her children. Her children saw it, and the police heard it. They told the police, but they didn't believe the kids. The kids had actually reached out while my son was in ICU. I have evidence of that to let us know that he was attacked and they had done something to him. But he died later the next day in ICU. So it's been a very hard road. I'm watching one of the killers degrade my son and family online. She even went viral before she gave the kids away so she could have freedom to do whatever she wanted. And she's using his death certificate to show that he used drugs, but he didn't. And on that death certificate, it says he used drugs, which he didn't do. There's another person involved that said that he was with my son, and he stated, and I have the video of that. He said he doesn't even do drugs, but he tried it with me. He tried to indicate it. I do believe that person is involved, but he stated very clearly that my son doesn't do drugs. And so what it appears to ignorant people who don't understand what you're saying on this death certificate is that my son used drugs.
Well, so that's the thing. We have the toxicology, and that came back that was positive for that, and that was linked to the intoxication causing his death.
It's the second one.
And so when
it was a second
injury,
attempt.
it says use drugs.
Yes, it was the second attempt on his life. And this one, they made him drink it. The children are now 11 and 9 years old that told what happened. My grandson was 18 months old when he saw it too, but he couldn't speak, but he does have the nightmares from it. And what I'm saying about the fentanyl that they used in killing him, it was enough to kill an army. I had the toxicology from OSU. After 8 hours of dialysis, there was still enough in his body to kill an army. They meant to kill him. And by the time you got his body, he was probably still on dialysis. The physicians there tried to keep him alive. They did their best. They kept giving him epinephrine, I think that's what it's called, and pumping his heart until they could do no more. My son reached out
Okay.
to
I mean,
several
until we
people.
can hear anything from the police saying that this needs to be, for a change in that,
Yes.
we really can't do anything.
So you couldn't put fentanyl poisoning because that's what killed him?
No. It'd be intoxication by fentanyl.
Okay.
And fentanyl.
Okay. See, but my death certificate that I ordered, I didn't order one. I didn't need one. I have the hospital records and everything that I've been working with trying to get justice for him. But when I ordered that, it said use drugs, and that's what she's using to not only defame my son, to try to clear herself.
Right, and that's what it says on the. We're not changing that.
He didn't use drugs, and you don't have proof that he did. I don't understand what you're saying. It's because you're
Well, with the
indicating
intoxication of the fentanyl and the fentanyl, that would
they
indicate
killed my
otherwise,
son.
and that's why it was.
Okay, but see,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this case, and I'm gonna sue the city for this one. You don't have any evidence that he used the drugs. I had evidence that he didn't, and you don't have a conviction yet because the detective is lazy. He's not been working on my son's case, and he's been doing everything but seek justice for him. And what I'm saying to you is that you have something that's not provable on his record that makes him look like the killers wanted to make him look like.
And we have no other proof otherwise. So basically, this is going to say until we have other proof otherwise, or unless the homicide comes to us and says that it should be changed.
Okay, I'll be speaking to the chief of police and an attorney about this one. And I don't understand. So.
I mean, there was drugs present on scene, so.
Yes, they set him up and put it in his hands and all that. We got the picture.
Yeah, until we have proof of that, then we can't change our death certificate.
Okay, there's another issue with the 911 call as well. So I've got to be working on this case, but he didn't use drugs. It's like the same person actually sent one of their children to poison the father of her two other boys. She's got 5 kids now. It was rat poisoning. The mother made a police report on that. She's a killer. And we're going to prove that. But the issue here is that you have on my son's record that he used drugs when he's a victim of crime. He's a victim of crime. And you could simply say what killed him, which one would expect that would happen on a death certificate and not that a person used drugs. I don't understand it.
And we do have that on the death certificate. It was a noxious brain injury. And it's intoxication by fentanyl and fentanyl.
Yeah, I saw that part, and that's the report. But on the death certificate, it says used drugs. It doesn't say like it.
That is under the injury, which is also in the coroner's report.
Okay, I'm just going to believe that's going to be in his best interest while I work on this case. All right, and I'll be seeing someone in homicide, and they don't really care. They made jokes such as he could have committed suicide to me. Yeah, this is a nightmare. Okay, that's all. I guess there's nothing more I can do at this point except to speak with an attorney and deal with these other people in the police department, like the chief.
Yeah, I mean, really, until we hear anything from them or proof otherwise, it will not be changed.
Okay, our conversation is recorded, and I'm keeping this for the record.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Take care now, okay?
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.